Have you ever wondered why those with the kindest hearts, the souls that always try to spread love and peace into the world, are often the ones who must walk through the darkest paths? Why, the closer we move toward the light, the more we are tested, misunderstood, and deeply wounded? There is a truth that few dare to say. The brighter the light, the more the darkness trembles. And because of that, it does everything it can to test, to tempt, to blur that very light. But what the darkness does not know is that the more it resists the light, the more radiant that light becomes. In the deep realm of the universe, where light and darkness are no longer moral concepts but two poles of energy, a silent battle is always taking place. There are no warriors, no bloodshed, yet there are souls being awakened, the ones who are chosen. They are not crowned, nor given authority, but in the eyes of the unseen realm, they are the torches burning brightly through humanity's long night. They walk among us like anyone else, working, loving, enduring, sacrificing. But within them, there is something different, a frequency, a vibration that subtly shifts the space around them. When a chosen one walks into a room, we do not always see them, but we can feel them, as if the air suddenly became clearer, or a quiet warmth softly entered our hearts. For they carry within them the energy of truth, of pure love, of courage that rises above fear. Because of this, dark entities, the energies of doubt, hatred, and division, become restless. They cannot stand purity, just as mist cannot exist under the morning Sunday. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. That verse is not only an ancient prayer, but also a call for every soul of light. In the shadows of doubt, when life tests us to our limits, those words rise like a small lamp within the heart, reminding us that we are not alone, that the light within us is a reflection of His light. The darkness fears these souls not because they are perfect, but because they are real. While darkness feeds on illusion and deceit, the chosen ones live through sincerity, something that makes all illusions crumble. Light does not need to prove itself. It only needs to be, and that very presence shakes the deep realms where low energies dwell. Every breath they take is the rhythm of the universe. Every step they walk affirms that love still exists and remains stronger than any force against it. In the material world, this truth often shows in the simplest moments. A person smiles among a weary crowd. A hand reaches out to hold another in a lonely night. A steady gaze remains calm amidst judgment. Few realize that in these small gestures, the energy of light is spreading outward, like waves touching distant souls who have lost their way. This is why the chosen ones often do not realize their true power. They only feel different, sometimes apart from the crowd, without knowing why. That is the first trial, loneliness. Because strong light is not always comfortable for others. It makes those still asleep squint, uneasy, even rejecting. Yet within that isolation, the chosen one is forged. They learn to stand alone without losing faith, to love without expecting anything in return, to keep walking when no one walks beside them. There are nights when they lie in silence and wonder, why do I feel like a traveler between two worlds? Part of them belongs to humanity, fragile, wounded, afraid, but another part belongs to the heavens, clear, boundless, and unbreakable. The battle within them is the reflection of the cosmic battle itself, between instinct and spirit, between fear and love, between darkness and light. But when they begin to understand that both sides are necessary, that darkness is not meant to be destroyed but to be understood. To help the light shine clearer, something miraculous happens. They begin to glow brighter. That light no longer burns fiercely, but gently, like moonlight dancing on still water, spreading softly and touching other hearts. In those moments, we see the true nature of light. It does not fight, it does not destroy, it simply exists. Darkness is not defeated, it dissolves on its own when light appears. The universe runs by that simple law, and the chosen ones are the living proof of that truth. When their souls resonate with the frequency of all things, a sacred symphony begins to echo in the unseen space. It is not a sound the ears can hear, but a vibration within the soul, like a fine current passing through every cell. People can sense it when they are near someone who carries light. Their heartbeat slows, their breath deepens, and their mind becomes still, like a calm lake after rain. That is the resonance of light, the energy that melts the boundaries between souls and unites what once seemed divided. In the invisible realm, this causes a tremor. Dark entities, which feed on fear and discord, begin to waver. They cannot withstand such purity. Like dissonant notes lost in a perfect melody, they tremble, retreat, and seek another shelter. While the bearer of light remains still, breathing, simply being. That is the first power of the chosen one. They do not need to act. They only need to exist. Their very presence creates an environment where darkness cannot survive, and because of that, whether they know it or not, they are cleansing the world, maintaining the invisible balance of the universe, simply by living true to who they are. When night closes in, the story does not end. It opens a deeper journey, the journey to understand the energy that makes their soul different. The light within them is not only a gift, but a mission. Each listener who feels that same vibration within their heart may also be hearing their own calling as another chosen one beginning to awaken. For at the core of every soul, there is a flame. Some burn brightly, others remain as embers. But no matter how small, light is still light. And one day, when the wind of truth blows through, it will rise again, illuminating all the darkness around it. The first part of the journey has only begun. The moment when we remember that light does not come from outside, but is born from within the heart. And when that heart beats in harmony with the breath of the universe, when the soul realizes it is a ray of light in the infinite ocean of light, darkness will no longer be frightening. It will simply be the canvas that allows the light to see itself shining. Because in the end, even a single beam of light is enough, and night is no longer night. There is no moment that announces when the light begins to speak. It does not sound like thunder, nor flash like lightning, but hums softly, like a distant note echoing through the soul. The chosen one, the one who has walked through darkness, begins to realize that with every breath, something within is changing. It is no longer resistance or fear, but harmony. They start to feel the heartbeat of the universe, slow, deep, and perfectly balanced beyond words. The chosen ones do not come to fight the darkness, but to harmonize with the light of the Creator. When they begin to live in that rhythm, everything around them starts to change. The wind seems to blow in a new direction. The trees sway with quiet reverence. Even time seems to slow down, as if the universe itself is bending down to listen to their breath. And in that moment, they understand. This is the harmonic resonance, the sacred alignment between the soul and all creation. Light is not just an energy. It is a grand symphony, and every soul carries its own melody. When a soul vibrates at its true frequency, it becomes part of the eternal harmony. In the human world, this is felt as an inexplicable peace, a morning when we wake up and, for no reason at all, everything feels lighter. A moment when we suddenly love everything, even the things that once hurt us. In that moment, the soul has found its rhythm. The storyteller describes this vibration as waves of light, unseen yet felt, spreading like the fragrance of a wordless hymn. And as this frequency expands, the darkness begins to tremble. The entities of fear and chaos, used to living in disorder, draw back, for they cannot exist in the presence of order and love. A verse from Scripture echoes as a confirmation from the universe. The path of the righteous is like the morning sun, shining ever brighter till the full light of day. Proverbs 4:18. In that dawn, the chosen one is not the sun, but the first ray that tears through the long night. Their presence is not grand or loud, yet it transforms everything around them. They do not need to try. When the soul beats in tune with the universe, every action becomes sacred. A kind word, a compassionate gaze, or silence in the midst of anger, all carry the power of healing. The chosen ones rarely realize it, but their very presence changes the atmosphere around them. Some say they carry an aura, a field of light that makes others feel at peace when near. But in truth, it is not just a psychological effect. It is the natural response of energy. Pure light always creates order. Darkness always seeks chaos. When these two frequencies meet, one must dissolve. And when the light is strong enough, the darkness has no choice but to retreat. The storyteller compares this resonance to a living field of energy. When the chosen one walks, the earth seems to awaken beneath their feet. The air around them hums, not with sound, but with life. It is as if they carry the breath of the Creator with them. for they themselves are the channel of that divine life. Yet this does not only happen in the unseen world. In daily life, that resonance can be felt through simple things. A friend whose presence brings calm even without words, a look that eases anger, or a room that feels lighter because someone smiled. These are signs of high vibration, the energy of love and harmony. Demons, or dark entities, always seek to hide in places of discord, in anger, jealousy, and deceit. But when a chosen one enters, the harmony they carry becomes unbearable to darkness. It rings like a bell through the void, causing those dark forces to crack, retreat, and fade. There is no need for battle or magic, only a soul living true to its own frequency. Cosmic harmony is also the greatest lesson for those on the path of awakening. To reach it, the soul must learn to let go, to release control, to stop resisting, to stop trying to prove something. For the more we try to prove, the more we fall out of rhythm. Only in stillness can we hear the song of God within. The chosen one learns that not all victories come through effort, but often through surrender. Not surrendering to darkness, but to the light. When they stop fighting life, stop blaming, stop trying to control, something miraculous happens. Everything begins to flow. Coincidences appear more often. Small signs arise. A song, a breeze, a number repeating on a clock, all whispering from the universe that they are on the right path. Every soul has its own song, but when a chosen one strikes their true note, they become an instrument in the hands of the Creator. And from that moment, the sound they make does not echo only in this world, but reaches into deeper realms where darkness once ruled. That sound shakes the unseen, reminding all that light still lives and still sings through the night. The universe, at its deepest level, is not silence, but rhythm. Every star, every atom, every soul vibrates with its own frequency. When these frequencies align, the world flows in harmony. When they fall out of tune, darkness and chaos arise. Thus, the task of the chosen one is not to destroy darkness, but to keep the rhythm of light. And as the storyteller whispers, wherever light walks, the order of heaven is restored. Sometimes, all we need is to stand still, take a deep breath, and listen to the sound of our heartbeat, for that too is the rhythm of the universe. When we live fully in that moment, there is no past or future, only life unfolding. That is perfect resonance. And in that moment, darkness knows it has lost. Not because it was defeated, but because it was dissolved. Light does not need to win. It only needs to be. And that is what the chosen one is learning. How to stop doing and simply be. When they merge with that rhythm, all concepts of me and others disappear. Only one vast ocean of vibration remains, where every soul is a drop of light. And within that ocean, separation ends. The night has passed, but dawn is still coming. And in that dawn, the chosen one smiles, for they know that for the first time, they are not just living in the world, they are living in harmony with it. After harmonizing with the breath of the universe, the chosen one begins to enter a deeper stage of the journey, the confrontation with truth. It is no longer the gentle light of dawn, but a sharper light, one that pierces through every layer, every illusion, everything we once thought was ourselves. And when that light shines into the dark corners of the heart, fear rises. Yet in that very moment, the soul is trained to stand firm in truth, no matter how bare it may be. The storyteller says that a special energy surrounds these souls, an aura of truth. It cannot be faked or imitated, because it is not something they wear, it is something they have become. In a world where darkness feeds on deceit and concealment, their presence is a nightmare to such forces. They tremble not because of outer strength, but because of the mirror these souls hold within. When the light of truth appears, the darkness can no longer hide behind its masks. Scripture says, "Whoever walks in integrity walks securely." Proverbs 10:9. That verse echoes in their hearts whenever trials arise, reminding them that as long as their hearts stay pure, the path will open by itself. But walking in truth is never easy. It is a road few choose, for truth exposes not only the world, but also oneself. As the chosen one begins to shine with the light of integrity and honesty, darkness changes its tactics. Unable to attack them through fear, it turns to something subtler, words. It spreads rumors, twists the truth, and causes others to doubt the light they carry. For darkness knows that if it cannot make them fall, It will try to make others turn away from them. Souls of light often face false accusations. They are misunderstood, called arrogant, or accused of pretending. But what darkness does not realize is that in those very moments, the chosen soul is learning its greatest lesson, the lesson of absolute faith in the inner light. When the whole world does not understand them, they have only one place left to rest, the divine source. And there, they find true strength. The storyteller compares truth to a double-edged sword. It can cut through all attachments, but it also demands that the one who wields it pays the price of solitude. That is why not everyone can live in truth for long. Many choose compromise for comfort. But the chosen ones are different. They are born to be lighthouses in the storm of falsehood. And no matter how fierce the storm, they still stand, still shine, still hold their direction. Every word they speak, every action they take becomes a challenge to the darkness. When they speak truth, the energy of deceit begins to crack. When they live according to what they believe, other souls are awakened and inspired. Thus, darkness always tries to distort their voice, but the more it resists, the brighter the light grows. The story tells that one day, the chosen one sat in silence amid a storm of public opinion. People said all kinds of things they never did, sins they never committed. They looked up at the gray sky, their heart calm like a still lake. Then a whisper arose within, "Do not react, stay in the light." And they understood that not every battle needs a reply. Some battles can only be won through stillness. In that stillness, they remembered a psalm. They have no fear of bad news. Their hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord. Psalm 112:7. That verse became an invisible armor around them. For when the heart is anchored in truth, no word can wound it. The power of the chosen one lies in this. They do not fight to prove, they live to reflect. Living in truth itself is the greatest miracle, for it needs no declaration. Yet everyone who comes near can feel it. The storyteller pauses, voice softening as if speaking directly to the listener. Perhaps you too have felt this, when your kindness was misunderstood, when the truth you spoke was rejected, when your light made others uncomfortable. If so, do not despair. That is the sign your light is truly shining. Keep living your truth. Stay faithful to the light you carry, even if it sets you apart. For in this world, few have the courage to be completely honest. If you are among those few, your light itself is the message. And if you feel something within your heart resonating with these words, share that light. Let the world know that there are still souls brave enough to live authentically, to remain upright, to stand in darkness without fear. Every share, every comment is more than an action. It is a signal to the universe that you too are choosing the light. The storyteller's voice grows lower, for light never fades. It only needs to be recognized and shared. The chosen ones, when standing in the aura of truth, no longer seek validation. They understand that truth needs no defense, it protects itself, and the more they stay honest, the more transparent they become. Light passes through them easily, like through flawless crystal. The world may not understand them, but their soul understands itself. Darkness may try to harm them, but they no longer fear, for they know that the light within cannot be extinguished by any wind. That is when they truly step into their purpose, the guardians of the frequency of truth on earth. They become anchors amid chaos, places where other souls can remember that truth still exists. This part of the story closes with the image of the chosen one standing alone in the night, light radiating from their heart. There is no one else around, no voices outside, only breath and deep silence. Yet within that silence, the whole universe seems to be listening. For every time a soul chooses to live in truth, the realms of light grow brighter. And every time someone stands firm amid lies, heaven sings. There is no greater victory than keeping your inner light alive in the middle of a storm. And the chosen one, though misunderstood, smiles, because they know truth needs no protection. It is the light that protects them. There's a moment that every chosen one must go through. The moment when the light within them is tested to its limit, not through visible battles, but through invisible storms. The cold winds of loneliness, the heavy rains of doubt, and the long nights so silent, it feels as if the entire universe has forgotten they exist. It is in those nights that the soul is forged like steel in the fire. When light has been revealed, darkness will always find a way to respond. It does not appear as a monster or a demon, but as the very trials of human life: betrayal, loss, exhaustion, and those quiet voices whispering, "Just give up." But the chosen one did not come to surrender. They came to understand that suffering itself is a form of grace, because only by walking through pain can they discover how powerful their inner light truly is. One cold morning, after a night filled with tears, the chosen one opens their eyes and realizes that the sun still rises. Though the night before they thought they could not go on, dawn still returns, gentle, without judgment, without hurry. And in that fragile warmth, they understand that God never left them. They hear in their heart the words of the psalm, "It was good for me to be afflicted, so that I might learn your faithfulness." Psalm 119-71. The verse is no longer just scripture. It has become their breath. It is in suffering that they discover the most resilient light, the light that does not depend on circumstance. They no longer seek peace outside, but begin to find it within. When everything falls apart, they see that their true foundation is not of this world, but of faith. And that faith, even as small as a grain of sand, is enough to keep them standing in the storm. The storyteller compares that endurance to a flame in the wind. The greater the storm, the more fiercely the fire dances, as if it draws strength from the very wind and rain that try to extinguish it. The chosen one is the same. Their wounds do not weaken them. They become cracks through which more light escapes. Every fall becomes a rising, every loss, a deeper kind of love. The universe never sends trials to punish, but to purify. Just as metal must go through fire to shine, the soul must go through pain to become clear. And the chosen one understands that every time the heart breaks, an old part of them is being replaced by something purer. On this path, they begin to notice a prophetic sign: 555. The number appears everywhere, on license plates, on clocks, in dreams. At first, they think it is coincidence, but their soul senses something else. 555, the number of sacred transformation, the doorway opening. It is the universe whispering, "Be ready. Everything is changing not to destroy you, but to renew you." And the storyteller softly adds, "If this number has ever touched you, if you have seen it and felt something stir inside, it is not random. Let it be a promise that your life is being rebuilt upon the foundation of light." The chosen one begins to look back at their journey with new eyes. They see that every loss has been a teacher. Betrayal teaches compassion. Loneliness teaches how to hear the voice of the soul. Failure teaches humility. Every crack is a classroom, and every lesson brings them closer to who they truly are. In their darkest night, when all seems to be ashes, the soul begins to hear a very small sound, the sound of light within the heart. Not a voice, but a feeling, warm and gentle, like arms embracing them from within. And they know they were never truly alone. The storyteller describes that moment as the soul's rebirth. There are no fireworks, no miracles, only a long exhale and a peace so deep that tears fall on their own. It is the moment they realize they have made it through, not because they became stronger, but because they stopped resisting. They no longer try to escape the darkness, but invite it to sit, look at it, and say, "I see you." Darkness loses its power when it is seen in the light of awareness. That acceptance dissolves negative energy like mist under the morning sunday. And from that dissolution, a new being is born, not a perfect one, but a whole one. They understand that no one is truly called the chosen unless they have lost everything. For only with empty hands can the soul receive the real gift, the freedom from all attachments. When they rise from the ashes, the light around them changes. It is no longer the clear light of joy, but the deep, steady glow of wisdom. It does not shine brightly, but burns softly like embers, the light of one who has fallen into the abyss and climbed back with their own hands. The storyteller lowers their voice. That is the moment they no longer seek light outside, for they have become the light. And the darkness, when it looks at them, realizes that every attempt to destroy was in vain. For every wound it caused has become a window for the light to shine through. From then on, the chosen one no longer fears trials. They know that every storm is only wind to carry their ship farther. They walk with quiet courage, the kind that needs no shouting, no proof. And though the road ahead is still long, they know they have found their true foundation: faith, integrity, and a light that cannot be extinguished. The storyteller closes this chapter with a breath-like whisper. Sometimes, The greatest strength is not in winning, but in standing up again after every fall. And with each rising, the universe bows in reverence, for it knows another soul has remembered its light. The flame in the storm does not die. It only learns to burn brighter. And within that flame, the chosen one walks on, carrying in their heart the lessons of the trials, knowing that somewhere ahead, they will need them again when the light within them becomes not only faith, but a calling for a world still lost in the night. When the flame within the storm has been forged, the chosen one enters a stage of stillness, a realm where the roaring of trials fades away, leaving only deep silence, where everything outside seems to pause. There is no more fear, no more elation. Only a quiet presence fills the air, like the breathing of heaven and earth. It is within this stillness that their soul receives its greatest gift, inner peace. At first, the silence unsettles them. After enduring storms and chaos, the sudden calm can feel empty, like a soldier after battle who no longer hears swords clashing, only the wind moving through an open field. But soon they realize, this is not emptiness. It is space for the light to echo within. The storyteller softly says, some souls must go through violent storms only to learn how to sit in stillness. For only when a person is truly quiet can they hear the voice of God, not echoing from above, but whispering from within. And in that moment, they understand the meaning of the verse, be still and know that I am God. Psalm 40:6-10. That scripture is no longer a command, but an invitation. Be still, not to give up, but to remember. Be still, not to stop living, but to hear the true rhythm of life flowing through you. The chosen one realizes that real strength does not come from reaction, but from calm. No one can hurt them unless they react. Nothing can defeat them if they choose peace over fear. Darkness always seeks to provoke, always tries to pull them off balance. It comes through harsh words, unfairness, small daily disappointments. But now, when darkness sends its cold wind into their soul, they simply smile. The wind passes by, light as air, then disappears. For true light does not tremble. It does not need to prove itself. It only needs to be. The chosen one becomes a fortress of peace, not with walls or weapons, but with steadiness of mind. They do not need to attack, because they know that by holding stillness, they have already won. Evil spirits, energies of unrest, cannot enter a place of perfect calm. Just as ocean waves cannot shake a solid rock, darkness cannot disturb a heart that has learned silence. As they move through the world, their energy transforms everything around them. A tense room softens when they enter. A person in anger suddenly finds it hard to stay angry. An argument ends in quiet. No one understands why, but it is the natural effect of a soul vibrating at the frequency of peace. The storyteller calls this state provocation immunity, not because they avoid conflict, but because they have risen above it. They no longer see the world through fear or pain. Every insult becomes a distant echo, unable to reach the deepest part of the heart. And that silence confuses darkness, for it has no power over one who does not react. There will be moments when life tests you by sending situations meant to stir your anger, a careless word, an injustice, a painful loss. But the chosen one learns to pause, take a slow breath, and hear the voice within. Peace is still here. In doing so, they keep negative energy from entering. They do not fight fire with fire. They use the water of stillness to calm every storm. The storyteller explains that peace is not the absence of war, but the ability to stand in the midst of it without losing direction. True peace is when you can smile, even when the world does not smile at you. It is knowing that though everything may change, the deepest part of you remains whole. And when they realize this, their soul expands like the ocean. Every word and every action becomes light as the wind. No more heaviness of effort, no more burden of proving. They live through the simplicity of being just breathing, seeing, loving, allowing all things to come and go like waves. One evening, as the sunset spills over the horizon, the chosen one sits beside a still lake. The wind ripples the surface into small, soft circles. They realize that the soul is like that water. When it is calm, it reflects the sky. But even a single gust of anger, a grain of pride, can distort its image. They understand that to reflect the will of heaven, the soul must be still, clear, and bright. From then on, whenever a challenge arises, they no longer ask, "Why is this happening to me?" but whisper, "Can I keep my peace in this wind?" And when they do, the wind becomes a song, and their soul grows wider. The storyteller speaks gently, as if to you. If you are in the middle of life's storm, where everything is chaotic, where words, actions, and emotions pull you in every direction, remember this: there is a place of stillness within you. That place cannot be touched or harmed. Return there. There, God is waiting for you. For when a person finds peace within, they are no longer who they once were. They become the center of energy around which the universe turns. Their light not only guides themselves, but everyone near them. The world needs such souls, those who are not shaken by gossip, not dragged down by fear, not controlled by anger, for only they can keep the earth from falling apart in chaos. This part closes with an image. The chosen one stands in a crowded square where people shout, argue, and judge. They say nothing, only close their eyes, breathe slowly, and radiate a gentle light. Gradually, the noise fades. The crowd grows quiet. No one knows what just happened, but peace has won, because peace is never weakness. Peace is the most silent strength of the universe. And the chosen one, now, is no longer the flame fighting the storm, but the stillness that makes the storm dissolve. Peace has softened the heart of the chosen one, turning their soul into a clear mirror. And then, when there is nothing left to prove, the true light begins to shine. A light that does not come from action, but from pure being. It is not dazzling like fire, nor mystical like mist, but gentle, deep, and able to pierce through even the most hidden corners of existence. The storyteller describes this light as a sacred aura surrounding the souls who have reached the frequency of purity. It cannot be seen with the eyes, yet all beings, both human and unseen, can feel it. When the chosen one walks by, the air seems brighter, not because they carry a lamp, but because they are the lamp. Those who have been near them say that in their presence, the heart feels warm, the mind feels clear. A quiet fear dissolves, and a strange faith enters. No one knows how to name that feeling, but it is the divine light, the light that Scripture calls the light of the Lord. Let the light of your face shine upon us. Psalm 4-6. It is a light that cannot be imitated, because it is not born of willpower, but of love. It is the natural result of faith, humility, and complete surrender. When the chosen one stops trying to become someone, they become what they were always seeking, the light of God, shining through human form. In the unseen realm, their presence is an event. Dark entities, souls lost in lower energies, feel that light, like burning fire, not because they are punished, but because they are not yet ready to face perfect transparency. For this light does not only illuminate the world, it reveals the spirit. It exposes what was hidden, the unhealed emotions, the buried intentions. When the chosen one is present, nothing can hide in the dark. All lies, all pretenses, all low vibrations are laid bare. That is why darkness fears them so deeply. They do not chase, they do not fight, they simply stand still, and the light within them makes all shadows retreat on their own. The storyteller says, this light is not only protection, but healing energy. It does not choose who deserves it, for like the sun shining on all things, the light of the chosen one spreads wherever they go. Someone in pain may feel peace just by sitting near them. Someone in panic may find calm simply from their gaze. This light is not a miracle, it is law. When a soul reaches the frequency of unconditional love, it becomes a source of self-renewing energy. They no longer need to defend themselves from darkness, for darkness cannot touch them. And as they shine, they purify the souls around them. The storyteller compares this light to the dawn, in a universe that has never known day. To souls still trapped in fear, this light first feels painful. It exposes the wounds they have long tried to hide. But if they stay within it long enough, something miraculous happens. Those wounds begin to heal. The chosen one is not a teacher, but a mirror. They do not preach, they do not push, they do not force anyone to change. They simply live in truth, and that living itself becomes the lesson. Just as the sun says nothing, yet makes flowers bloom, snow melt, and life awaken. Someone once asked the chosen one, "How can you keep shining when the world is so cruel?" They smiled and replied, "Because I have learned not to let the world extinguish the lamp within." That simple answer holds the secret of the spiritual journey. The outer world will always change, but true light is never beyond reach. It lives inside every soul, waiting to be remembered. The divine light is also an invitation. It does not shine just to chase away darkness, but to awaken. When someone looks at the chosen one and feels a spark rise within their heart, even for a moment they are seeing their own light reflected. For true light is never separate. There is only one light shared through countless forms. One night, the chosen one sits in meditation. Outside, the city is noisy, but within, everything is still as water. In that silence, a radiant warmth begins to spread from their heart through their body, not hot, not blinding, but soft and embracing. It feels as if every boundary dissolves, as if they have finally come home after a long journey through lifetimes. And in that stillness, they hear a whisper not from outside, but from the depths of the soul. You are the light of the world. The words are not mystical, but a revelation, a reminder that every soul is a ray of the great light. Once they remember this, there is nothing more to seek. From that day, wherever they go, their light expands. Those who cross their path carry its energy unknowingly. An anger fades, a sorrow lifts, a word of forgiveness is spoken, all beginning from an invisible glow. The storyteller ends this part with an image. The chosen one stands on a hill at sunset. The light of the setting sun merges with the light within them until the line between heaven and human disappears. No one can tell where the sun ends and the soul begins. Everything is bathed in warm golden radiance. And the storyteller whispers, when the light within us merges with the light of the Creator, all limits dissolve. Then we are no longer seekers of light, but the light itself walking the earth in human form. This is the gift of this chapter, to realize that light does not come to be admired, but to illuminate. It does not come to impress, but to heal. And when we learn to let it shine naturally, without control, without fear, then darkness, no matter how thick, cannot remain. For true light, once awakened, can never be hidden again. When the light within the chosen one becomes steady like a small sun, the universe begins to use them as a living instrument. It is no longer a personal journey, but a mission. Every breath, every step they take now carries the frequency of awakening, an invisible invitation to other souls still asleep. The light is no longer a single lamp, but a torch passed from hand to hand. No one appoints them, no one gives them a title. But like the wind, carrying the scent of flowers without knowing its direction, the chosen one begins to spread their influence naturally. Wherever they appear, someone starts to think differently. Wherever they speak with kindness, a closed heart begins to open. Wherever they simply sit in silence, a lost soul begins to feel the presence of God within themselves once more. The storyteller compares them to the awakeners in the collective dream of humanity, not through speeches or sermons, but through the energy of sincerity that radiates from within. When they smile, the truth in that smile pierces through every wall of defense. When they speak, the tone in their voice melts away the ice of doubt, and when they are silent, others begin to feel a language beyond words, the language of the soul. The outer world may remain noisy, yet within those who meet them, something begins to move. Like a seed buried deep in the earth, hearing the call of spring, a small spark of light flickers in the heart. At first, it feels fragile, but slowly, it grows into a longing to live authentically, to love truthfully, to return to the source of light. Scripture once said, "Awake, O sleeper, and Christ will shine on you." Ephesians 5:14. Each chosen one is that very call, echoing across time and space. By living true to their essence, they do not only illuminate their own path, but awaken countless others still wandering through the long night of forgetting. The storyteller explains that awakening is never a loud event. It is a gentle breeze, unseen, yet unmistakable. It begins with a single tear for no reason, a pause in the middle of traffic, or a simple sentence that touches the deepest part of the heart. And through the presence of the chosen one, these sacred moments find their way into the world. They become catalysts of light. Around them, the darkness within others begins to crack. Wounds, hatred, illusions all rise to the surface. It can be painful, but it is the process of healing. The chosen one does not fear this, for they understand that no one can awaken without facing their own shadow. Some who meet them never forget, not because they spoke great wisdom, but because their gaze made people remember they too were once light. Sometimes, that single moment is enough to change the course of an entire life. On this path appears the prophetic sign 333, the number many souls recognize as a message from above. 3 threes together represent harmony between body, soul, and spirit. It is also the sign of the angels who walk beside humanity. The storyteller explains gently, if this number often appears around you, on a clock, a receipt, or in a dream, it may be a sign that you are not alone. The heavens are letting you know that your light is being guided. When the chosen one understands this, gratitude rises from within. They realize that the mission to awaken others is not a burden, but a blessing. They are not saviors, but reminders reminding others of what they already have. One day, the chosen one meets a young woman crying by a river. They do not say much. They simply sit beside her and hand her a smooth stone. Look at it, they say. Do you see how it reflects the sunlight? Even a small stone carries light, as long as it faces the right way. The girl stays silent for a long time, then smiles. In that smile, light dances in her eyes, like the water beside her. The storyteller says, that is the smallest yet truest miracle of light. It helps others remember that they too can shine. The chosen ones never force awakening. They only plant seeds. Every kind action, every honest word, every forgiving look is a seed. Some will sprout right away. Others will wait through seasons. But they know that one day, when the wind comes, a garden of light will bloom. They understand their task is not to change the world, but to help the world change itself by igniting the light within each person. When one soul awakens, the world is already different, for when one remembers who they are, thousands more are touched. The storyteller looks toward the listener, as if speaking directly. You may have felt small in this vast world, but remember, light is never measured by size. It is measured by frequency. If you live in love and truth, you too are helping awaken this world. When night falls, the chosen one walks along a quiet path. Moonlight glows on their hands, hands that once trembled, once clenched in fear, now open to receive everything. Above them, the stars shimmer, and among countless lights in the sky, there is another, the light walking the earth in human form, moving in rhythm with the infinite. The storyteller closes this chapter with a whisper. Awakening is not becoming someone new, but remembering who you have always been. And when you remember, you will see the light within you was never lost, only waiting to be recognized, so it could be passed on from soul to soul. For that is the purpose of every chosen one, not to keep the light for themselves, but to give it away, like a torch in the night, passed from one hand to another, until all of humanity shines. When the chosen one learns how to shine without burning out, they begin to notice something more subtle. The light within them does not belong to the self. It is not my light, but the light of the universe flowing through me. As they sit in peace, a vastness unfolds, as if they are no longer a separate soul, but a current in the great river of divine will. At first, that feeling frightens them, for when the self dissolves, everything that once defined them, name, memory, belief, desire, seems to drift away like smoke. Yet within that loss, something new arises: oneness, a gentle but unstoppable flow, soft yet powerful, as small as a drop of dew, yet as immense as the ocean. This is the cosmic will. The storyteller says this will does not come from outside, but from the deepest layer of the soul, the part that silently observes all of life. When the chosen one touches that depth, they understand there is no line between me and the universe. The divine will itself has woven them into the great symphony of creation, where every action and every breath has its own rhythm, perfect and complete. As they begin to live in that unity, the smallest things in life take on new meaning. They no longer try to force events into their own design, but allow things to flow. When it is time to act, they act not out of calculation, but because they feel guided. When it is time to stop, they stop not from fear, but because the current has shifted direction. There is no longer right or wrong, gain or loss, only what is. One morning, walking down an empty path, they hear the wind moving through the leaves like a song. In that moment, they realize they are hearing God with human ears. Everything around them, the chirping of birds, the sunlight, the whisper of the breeze, is His voice. And they finally understand the ancient prayer, "Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven." Matthew 6:10. For the first time, they see it not as a plea, but as a truth unfolding in every moment of existence. Living in the cosmic will is not losing oneself, but becoming like a musician in a grand orchestra. The chosen one realizes there is no wrong note, no broken rhythm. Even when life appears chaotic, beneath it all, there is order at work, the order of love, evolution, and light. And through their presence, they help that order manifest upon the earth. The storyteller compares them to a bridge between heaven and earth. When they walk into conflict, their energy softens the tension. When they are among the hopeless, their silence rekindles faith. They do not intend it. The universe moves through them, for they have become one with the flow, a channel for divine power. Darkness, which feeds on chaos, cannot bear this harmony. When the chosen one is present, dissonant energies begin to tremble and realign to a higher frequency. That is why darkness fears them, because their presence is a reminder of the universal order that darkness has forgotten. The storyteller whispers, "No evil truly exists outside of order. It is only energy out of rhythm, still finding its way home." And through the harmony of the chosen one, such energies must either adjust or leave the space they occupy. One day, they meet a weary man, eyes heavy, voice filled with bitterness. He speaks of the world, of injustice, of endless failure. The chosen one listens, without judgment or interruption. When he finishes, they simply say, "Do you see that even within all the chaos, there is still a breath keeping you alive?" The man falls silent. In his eyes, something flickers, recognition of a truth so simple, yet long forgotten. A single sentence, a single presence, can bring a soul back into alignment. For the cosmic will never abandons anyone. It is only that we stop listening. The chosen one understands that to hear the voice of the universe, one does not need to seek outside only to quiet the noise within. When the mind grows silent, we can hear the wind, the heartbeat, and the voice of the Creator speaking through all things. Every event, every encounter, every fall, is a note in the song of learning, perfectly designed to return us to our original frequency. And in the moment they completely surrender to that flow, they feel lighter than ever before. Every burden, every must, every should dissolves. They no longer ask, "Where should I go?" They let the river carry them. And that river, the river of the cosmic will, always leads back to light, even when the path seems winding. The storyteller describes this state as a silence, with rhythm, a stillness, alive with energy, like the space between two musical notes, where the whole song can be felt without sound. It is the place where souls in harmony with divine intention dwell. In that moment, the chosen one realizes they no longer serve the light, for there is no separation between them and the light. They are the light serving itself. The night sky opens wide. Wind moves across the fields. They hear the universe singing not in words, but in frequencies. They no longer listen with ears, but with the soul. And they understand. All is one. All is returning. All is breathing with the same breath of the source. The storyteller ends this part with a whisper. When the soul merges with the cosmic will, all fear dissolves. When we stop striving, the light begins to work through us. And in that moment, there is no I and thou, only presence, only the infinite light, smiling through our own eyes. When the chosen one has merged with the will of the universe, they begin to see darkness differently. It is no longer an enemy to be feared or avoided, but an energy not yet awakened, a fragment of light lost from its original source. At this stage, their journey is no longer about driving darkness away, but transforming it, not through spells or prayers, but through their very nature, through love. The storyteller says, this is when the soul enters the sacred art of alchemy, the divine transformation where fear, anger, and resentment are melted in the fire of unconditional love. Like an alchemist turning lead into gold, the chosen one turns pain into wisdom, wounds into compassion, and hatred into light. Once, they walked into a room filled with conflict, two people arguing fiercely. The air so dense it seemed to stop breathing. The chosen one said nothing. They simply took a deep breath and held one image in their heart. Two souls trying to love, but not yet knowing how. Within seconds, the energy changed. Voices softened. Eyes grew gentler. One person began to cry. No one knew what had happened, but the chosen one did love had performed its alchemy. Scripture says, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not understood it." John 1-5. The chosen one understands that darkness does not oppose light, it simply does not yet know what light is. And when light shines patiently enough, sooner or later, darkness softens and becomes dawn. In daily life, this transformation happens not only in unseen realms, but in relationships and challenges. When insulted, they do not react, but listen to the fear trembling behind the words. When hurt, they do not close their heart, but ask, "What is this pain trying to teach me about myself?" That awareness is the beginning of transformation for light, begins where understanding begins. The storyteller whispers, "You cannot heal what you hate. You can only heal what you embrace with compassion." This is the secret of spiritual alchemy, not rejecting your shadow, but seeing it through the eyes of love. There are nights when the chosen one feels waves of darkness rising from within old memories, self-blame, wounds thought long healed. But this time, they do not run. They sit down, close their eyes, and say, "I see you." And a miracle happens. Instead of consuming them, the darkness dissolves like mist under the Sunday. Because once it is seen, it is no longer darkness. The storyteller calls this the reconciliation of light and shadow within the soul. When these two forces unite, energy bursts forth, not as a consuming fire, but as dawn spreading through the heart. That is the moment the soul becomes a true alchemist, able to transform every low vibration into high, every sorrow into grace. From then on, every step they take carries the energy of healing. Wherever they go, tension fades. Wherever they walk, seeds of peace are sown, not because they try to do it, but because they have become the embodiment of transformation itself. As they pass through a small village, a child runs after them, laughing brightly. The chosen one stops and looks at the child, seeing in that smile the pure light of creation reborn. That child is the world innocent, alive, and forever reborn each time someone chooses to forgive. The storyteller says, "Forgiveness is the highest form of alchemy. It is when you take the shattered pieces of your soul and bind them back together with light. There is no need to justify or forget, only to understand that everything was a lesson for greater love to be born." During this process, many chosen ones begin to notice the prophetic sign 999 appearing around them, the number of completion and new beginnings. It signals that a cycle has ended. Darkness has been transformed into light, and the soul is ready to move into a higher frequency. The storyteller explains, "If you see this number, smile. It means you have passed through the night, and dawn is coming." The chosen one feels this deeply. The fears that once surrounded them are now only faint memories. Each time they close their eyes, they see light not around them, but radiating from within their heart. They understand they no longer need to defeat darkness because there is nothing to defeat. All they need to do is love. And as that love expands, they discover a greater secret. Darkness was never separate from light. It was only forgotten light. Just as the moon does not shine by itself, but reflects the sun, darkness too is only light waiting to be seen. The storyteller paints the final image. The chosen one stands in the night, surrounded by deep shadow, yet from their hands a soft golden light spreads, merging with the darkness. The light does not chase it away. It embraces it, turns it to gray, then slowly fills the space until there is no boundary between light and dark, only one unified glow. They hear within their heart the ancient verse, "You, O Lord, keep my lamp burning. My God turns my darkness into light." Psalm 18:28. And they smile, for now they understand its true meaning. It was never that God changed the darkness outside, but that He lit the light within, so they could see all things through His eyes. From then on, the chosen one no longer speaks of victory or defeat, good or evil, but of return. Every soul, no matter how far it strays, will eventually come back to the light, because light is the essence of all things. The storyteller closes this part with a whisper. When you can embrace darkness with the light of love, you do not only heal yourself, you heal the world, for the outer world is a mirror of the inner. And when the light within you grows strong enough, there is no place left for darkness to hide. Dawn has risen. It is no longer the blinding light of victory, but a soft, embracing glow, as if the whole universe exhales after a long night. The chosen one stands still within that light, neither proud nor sorrowful, only filled with a quiet, profound knowing. Everything has returned to its rightful place. They have walked through the trials, touched the darkness, merged with the will of the universe. And now, they no longer seek the light, for they have become it. The storyteller says that at this stage, the soul no longer longs for anything. Not because it has lost its dreams, but because it has become the dreamer. The worlds within and without now breathe as one. Every moment, no matter how small, carries the mark of the divine. A drop of dew on a leaf, a stranger's smile, a gentle wind, all are reminders that God is still here in every instant of life. Within this light, they understand deeply that there is no separation, no ending, only the eternal rhythm of love unfolding. And in that rhythm, every soul is learning its way home, to the source, to the light, to itself. The chosen one looks around at the people they have met along the way, those who hurt them, misunderstood them, or walked beside them through the long night, and now every face shines with light. There are no friends or enemies, only roles in the grand play of creation. Each one has taught them something, and so they bow in gratitude, even to the wounds, for those wounds became the openings through which light could flow. Psalm 37:4 echoes within them. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. Now they understand that the desire of the heart is not what the world can give, but union with Him, a joy born not of possessions, but of living in harmony with divine will. From their deepest core rises gratitude not only for the blessings, but for the pain as well. For they now see that no darkness truly exists, only light learning to recognize itself. The storyteller describes how, in that moment, a wave of energy spreads from the chosen one's heart, not bursting forth, but flowing like warm water. It moves through the air, touches the ground, and reaches sleeping souls, awakening in them an ancient memory, the memory of home. The universe responds in sacred silence, as if millions of souls are breathing in unison. A final sign appears, 777. The number of divine completion and revelation. It is the sacred seal of souls who have walked the path of awakening, the sign that they have merged with the holy rhythm of creation. The storyteller says, if this number speaks to you, if you have seen it and felt your heart grow warm, know that your soul too is being called to remember, to awaken. The chosen one understands that this journey was never theirs alone. Every being, knowingly or not, is part of the same great light. No one is left behind. Each soul has its own hour of awakening. So they do not preach or persuade, they simply live like a lighthouse, standing still, shining, and letting their light guide the wandering ships. In the silence, they hear the universe whisper through the wind. You do not need to go far to find me. I have been within you from the beginning. And they weep not from sorrow, but from recognition. The long journey was never a search, but a homecoming. The storyteller speaks softly. When one soul remembers who they are, the whole universe rises a little higher. For light never belongs to one, it spreads like fragrance, like a heartbeat. Every awakened soul brightens the world a little more. And when millions open their eyes, the night will finally end. The chosen one bows their head and whispers a blessing. May every soul find peace. May the light within each heart awaken. May this earth remember its sacred nature, a star singing among the galaxies. From their heart, the prayer moves not as sound, but as frequency, radiating outward like waves, reaching places where light has never been, stirring dreams yet to be dreamed. And in that moment, they are no longer alone. They feel thousands of souls shining alongside them, those who have listened, felt, and remembered that they too are light. An unseen web of love and radiance spreads across the world, beyond borders, languages, and beliefs. The storyteller speaks gently to the listener, to you. If something inside you stirs, if these words feel like a call, then perhaps you are one of them, a chosen one. Not because you are different, but because you are ready to remember. Let your light shine, no matter how small it seems. For in this universe, no light is ever meaningless. This is the final blessing to become light for yourself and for the world. You need not do grand things. Simply live in truth, in love, in presence. For every peaceful breath you take is a prayer for all humanity. As the story draws to a close, the chosen one lifts their gaze to the sky. The stars shine brighter than ever, not because they have changed, but because the chosen one now sees with new eyes, the eyes of light. And within their heart, they know the journey is not over. The light continues to expand, moving from one to another, from one world to the next, in circles without end. The storyteller pauses, voice gentle and low, almost a final reminder. If you have listened this far, let your heart grow still. Take a deep breath. Feel the light glowing in your chest. And when you are ready, share it with a kind word, a small act, or a loving thought. For light only lives when it is shared. A long silence follows. The music fades, leaving only the wind and breath. And within that quiet, a voice echoes softly. You are the light of the world. Matthew 5:14. The words linger, spreading through time and space, not as an ending, but a beginning. For everyone who hears them and chooses to believe, becomes a new flame in the endless network of light. The story ends here, but the light does not. It continues to flow, from you to the world. Grateful that you chose to spend these moments in the light of this story. If it touched your soul, please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the bell so the next whisper of light may find its way back to you.